Yanda. And Takonu. And Kelmo, welcome. Hello.
Hello from Mozile. Are you guys well? You can unmute yourself.
On the board, we have a do now, as always, as you had in the previous 2 lessons. So you can start working on it and answering those questions. And once everyone is here, we will start going through it.
Awesome, guys. I just want to say welcome and also well done for coming in a bit earlier. It's awesome to see you guys are ready and excited for what Marlies is going to share with us today. Hi, Carmen.
Hi, Carmen. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you can start with the do now that's on the board, just like last time, to get our maths brains warmed up. Hi, Tamisha. And Katie. Welcome back. Kanyo, welcome to the lesson, guys. Please start the do now that's on the board.
Hi, Boy Kanyo. Hey, Katie.
Hi, ma'am.
It's so nice to see all your faces again. Welcome. We're going to give it 2 more minutes till everyone hops on. And as soon as everyone is on, I'm just quickly going to go through some of the how to unmute yourself, how to ask a question again for those who don't know. Until then, you can just continue to do the lesson that Marlies has asked you to do now. Hi, Ayanda.
And also she can bring your laptop charger. Did you get the live session classes on?
Okay, all. So first of all, I just want to welcome you. The time is 6 o'clock and this is our third lesson of Algebraic Expressions. It's so nice to see you all joining us again. Marlies and I are very excited to see how you're progressing, especially with this topic. And we are excited to, just share this hour with you all. I just want to go through some of the things that you might use tonight to ask a question. So if you have any questions for Marlies, the only thing you can do is unmute yourself. And as soon as you have finished your question, please just mute yourself again so that we don't distract some of the other learners. Otherwise, if you don't want to talk, you can always go onto the chat and just ask Marlies a question there. So I'm going to ask all of you to go into the chat now and send an emoji on how you're feeling currently. Let's see. This is how I'm feeling currently. Ayanda has got a laughing face.
That's how I feel. I feel strong.
Yay!
Oh no, Katie, did you not have a good day?
Trevor is sticking his tongue out.
Jabulo, Jabulo, are you working hard on your maths? That's why you're sweating.
And then for all those who's joining now, just make sure that your names are on as well, so that it's not your mom's name or your dad's name or some other name. Just change your name so that it's your name, okay? So that we know who we're talking to.
Hi, Isha.
Okay. Then Marlies, I'm going to give over to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Yes, welcome guys. Today is our third lesson of four of the lessons in this course. So we're going to carry on tackling algebra. And I'm wondering who has had a chance to work out some of the answers for this flow diagram. Is there anyone who can give me the first answer on this purple, with that first purple star? Does anyone want to attempt it? Hi, Mapalo. Katie, you said 80. So 21. Okay, so I'm looking at this one here. Let me just maybe switch everything on, then it will work. I'm looking at this star over here. Sorry, the one that I just scratched on. This one. So if we take that away, sorry. Okay. 21, I agree, because 21 plus 4 is 21 plus 4 is going to give me 25 times 5 is going to give me 125. Okay, what about this second one over here? The one underneath 41. Who can tell me what that star is going to be? What the value is there? 51. Do we agree? Let's see. 51, that's right. Well done. 51 plus 4 times 5 is going to give me 275. Now, I wonder who can tell me on the right-hand side what this first purple star is going to be. 11 plus 4 times 5, what does that give me? Let's see, 75.
75.
Good stuff. Okay, some of you are agreeing, 75. If you worked it out, if you got 85, you just need to go a bit slower with your arithmetic, okay? Remember, we can't use calculators. So you have to go 11 plus 4 is 15 times by 5. So maybe we can say 10 times 5 and then 5 times 5, put it together, that will give me 75. Right, what about this second star, the second last one that's left? So that's going to give me 31 plus 4 times 5. Who's got an answer for that one? That's okay. Please just change your name to your real name. I've got 175. I've got 160 from Jenna. We got to be sure, guys. 31, let's do this together. 31 plus 4 is 35. 35 times 5, I think 175. That's right. Maybe it's worth going over how we get to that answer, because I see people are making some mistakes here. So what we've got, we are working out 31 plus 4, that is 35. And then I have to times the 35 by 5. Now, how can I do that easily? Well, let's use one strategy. One way to do it, there's many ways to do it, but one way to do it is to go 30 times 5. What is 30 times 5? 150. And then times the 5 by 5, and that's 25. And then altogether, that gives me 175. Okay, so here's all those calculation strategies that you've been doing in grade 5 and grade 6 and grade 7. That's where this comes in very handy. Okay, the last one, 41 plus 4 gives me 45 times by 5. And what will that be? Let me see. Aisha, you say 225. I think you're on the money, 225, right. So let's, for interest's sake, let's have a look at the pattern that the input numbers and the output numbers make here. Okay, so over here, I'm adding a 10, adding a 10, add a 10, and plus 10. So if you notice that, doing the input values might have been very easy. And on this side, how much am I adding to 75 to get 125? That's 50. And that's another 50. And another 50. So each time I add 50, this side goes up in 10s, this side goes up in 50s. So if you notice that pattern, that could have been an easy way to quickly work it out. Okay, so remember that little trick when you do flow diagrams, look for a pattern. Okay, so who can tell me in words what the rule for the flow diagram is? Who wants to give it a go? Just unmute yourself and talk to me. How would you put it into words? If you had to tell your friend how to work with this flow diagram, what would you say to them? Trevor?
Yes, ma'am. So when you say the rule in words, it means add 4 multiplied by 5.
That's it. add 4 and times or multiply by 5. That takes a long time to write. Okay, so instead of doing that, what can we do that is much shorter and quicker? We can use algebra, we can use letters and symbols and numbers to write that rule much shorter and quicker. Okay, I want everyone to try now. Okay, so for this flow diagram, I want you to write that rule, add 4 and times or multiply by 5. Write that, use X for your input number and Y for your output number. Just mute yourself, please, if you're not answering a question. Use X for your input number and Y for your output number. And write an algebraic expression for that rule, for that flow diagram. Uwami, you have your hand up. Do you want to give us an answer?
Is it add X and multiply by Y?
Add X, multiply by Y. No, does anyone else want to try? Remember we said we add 4. What do we add 4 to? Anel?
X plus 4 times 5 equals Y.
Okay. Just repeat that for me, please.
X plus 4 times 5 equal Y.
Times 5 equals Y. Perfect. Yes, I take my input number, that's X. I add 4 to it, and I times by 5, which is going to give me my output number. That's Y. What must we add, though, just so that we don't get confused? What's missing? Does anyone know? Just a finishing touch. Some brackets. And where would we put the brackets?
The X and the 4.
X plus 4. So that we know that we don't do X plus 4 times 5 equals Y, and then that's X plus 20, okay? Because that would be wrong. Our flow diagram says add 4 and times by 5. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to start looking at some words, some important words we need to know when we are working with algebra. Now tell me, has anyone learned these words? Do you recognize any of them? Variable, constant, coefficient, terms,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
factors. Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
So now you can tell me.
Yes.
Let's see, who said
Yes,
yes?
ma'am.
Okay, I got lots of yeses here. So let's see. Njabulo, can you tell me in our algebraic expression over here? Because an algebraic expression consists of letters and numbers. Okay, so which of these in our expression here, which of those are the variables? Njabulo? Which are the variables? Sorry, Njabulo, I can't hear you. I'm going to hand over to Kamanu. Which ones are the variables?
Is the variable X, ma'am?
X And what else? There's not just one variable. What about the y? The y is also a variable.
Oh, yeah,
Now,
and
if we go back to our flow diagram, and yep,
Oh, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. Can you hear me now, ma'am?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. My phone had a problem, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad you're back.
Okay, ma'am.
So if we go back to our flow diagram, let me just fix the board. Okay, so if we go back to our flow diagram, we said that the input over here, that is X, and the output is Y. Do you see each time the numbers change? 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, and so on. Are we gonna, does this mean we stop at 51 for this flow diagram? No, it can carry on, it can be anything. That's why it changes. So we call it a variable. And the same with our y. Because our x is changing, our y changes as well. So that's why it is called a variable. It changes, okay? It can take on a different value. Now, if that's what a variable is, what is a constant? Njabula, do you want to tell me now what the constants are in this expression?
Ma'am, the constant is 5.
There's a 5, okay, and what else? Is there anything else?
The 4, ma'am.
Yeah, because we add a 4 and we times by 5. That doesn't change. That stays the same. Every time we take an input value, we're going to add 4 and times by 5 and get an output value. That never changes. Okay, so that's why we call it constants or a constant. Okay, does anyone know what a term is? A term of an algebraic expression. And I'm going to just give you a different algebraic expression to explain this. So say I have an algebraic expression that says 2x plus 5y. If I just make up that example. How many terms does that expression have? Does anyone know?
4, ma'am.
4. Who said 4? Sorry, I can't see who was talking. If you agree, do we agree? Do we disagree? Takano, what do you think? Tell us. How many terms in that expression?
2.
Okay, can you tell us why you say 2?
Because 2x is one term and 5y is another term. So it makes
That's
2
it.
terms.
Okay, so 2x is a term. So you go 2x, that's where the term stops because then it's a plus. So pluses and minuses break up terms from each other. Okay, I'm going to do another example. I'm going to make up another one. Let's see. How many terms would that expression have? If you listen carefully, pluses and minuses break up terms, okay? So terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So how many terms are here? Come on.
There's 3.
3 terms, I agree. There's the 2m, the 2n, and the 6b. Okay, great. So that is terms. An algebraic expression is a mathematical sentence that consists of letters and numbers. Okay, just like we did over here, that is an algebraic expression. And all these examples I made up, they are all algebraic expressions. Does anyone know what a coefficient is? You guys told me you've heard these words before, so does anyone know? Mapalu, do you want to give it a go?
Ma'am, please repeat your sentence, ma'am.
What is a coefficient? This blue bubble. I'm wondering if anyone can explain what that is. Wikanyo doesn't know. Mapalu, if you are able to, please just unmute yourself and give us the answer. If you can explain what a coefficient is.
Ma'am, can I
Anyone
answer?
else? Who was that? Takano, did you? I want to see
Yes.
if Mapalu can answer. I just want to make sure we give everyone a turn. But I don't know, Mapalu is not talking to us right now. Kamanu, okay, you give the answer.
Ma'am, a coefficient is a number by which to multiply a variable, ma'am.
Okay, so a coefficient, just repeat that. Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
It's a number
okay,
by which
Mapalu.
to multiply a variable.
That's it. Okay, so a coefficient is when there is a variable and it is multiplied by another variable or by another number. So if we look at this expression here that I made up, 5 is the coefficient of m. Okay, because this says 5m, so 5 times m. This is the coefficient of n, and this -6 is the coefficient of b. So those are all coefficients. So if you look at a variable, it's the number that is standing in front of the variable that the variable is being multiplied by. Okay, and then lastly, maybe you've done your exercises on this section on the app already, because the app exercises ask you for the factors. Now, who can tell me what factors are?
Ma'am, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Ma'am, factors are something that can be multiplied by something else.
Yeah, so let's take something easy. What are the factors of 6?
1, 2, 3, and 6, ma'am.
Okay, so those are factors. So if we apply this to algebra, then say we have 5x. Then 5 is the coefficient of x, but 5 times x, those numbers are also factors because you are timesing them together. Okay, so factors just mean the same as what you've always known them to be. Numbers multiplied together to give another number. Okay, is everyone clear on this? Because this is super important for your algebra. These bubbles are very important. I'm just going to go to the chat and see if there's anyone. Okay, so we got a little bit stuck on coefficients. Okay. When we add and subtract the term to the previous term, okay, 5 and 2. 5 and 2 will be factors, I guess, or I'm not sure, Mapalu, what you meant. Maybe if you can, maybe that was the coefficients, yeah. Okay, can you just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are clear on all of these words and what they mean? Just put a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you're still not sure. Just put that in the chat.
So Marlies, I see that there's a message from Gina just saying that this is new to her. They only started with this yesterday at school.
Okay, you're getting a head start, Gina.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put your hand up in class and tell everyone. what's going on. Okay. Right, anyone else, please put a thumbs up. I've only seen a few thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 2 thumbs up, 9. Okay, great. Now remember, this is also on the app, so you can still go and watch a video lesson if you need to go through this again. Let's carry on, and we're going to practice some more writing of expressions. Okay, so here's an expression, and Njabulu makes up this rule, and he says the rule is add 2 and then multiply the answer by 3. So I want you to look at those 3 diagrams, 3 flow diagrams, and then choose the one that represents the rule. Okay. Put in the chat which one is the correct one, A, B, or C. Sorry, that should be Jabulu's rule, not Miss B's rule. C, so we add 2 and then multiply by 3. C.
Ma'am, it's C, ma'am.
Okay, great stuff. I think we can all agree that it is C. Now, I want you to pick the algebraic expression that matches that rule. A, B, or C. Put your answer in the chat, please. I see B's, some A's, some B's. It's B. That's what Trevor says. Okay, I agree it is B, but I'm wondering if you said A, why is A not correct?
Because A doesn't have brackets.
That's it. We need the brackets. Okay, so B is the correct one. Okay, good stuff. Now, we're going to work quietly on our own for about 5 minutes. So don't answer any questions in the chat or give any answers over your microphone. I just want you to do these 4 questions. So complete the flow diagram and then write an algebraic expression for the rule. Use X for the input number. Okay, for each of those 4. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do these 4 questions. Okay, so fill out the full, complete the flow diagram, and then write an algebraic expression for the flow diagram. Sorry, that shouldn't say write the words in the flow diagram. Let me just fix that. Just going to say complete the flow diagram. And then write an algebraic expression. Four minutes. So time has started. So until 18:32. Okay, so people are asking to see the example again. So for 1 second, well, not for 1 second, maybe 10 seconds, I'll show this example again. Okay, so there we did the flow diagram, and there's our expression. So now you must do exactly the same again here. So the words are given, so complete your flow diagram, and then write the algebraic expression. Okay, when you are done, just sit back and relax for a minute until everyone's ready. One last minute, check your answers. Okay, time is up. Let's start with this first one and let's see how you did. So we have to use x for our input numbers. So I'm going to put the x here. I must multiply by 4 and then subtract 8. So then if I write this as an algebraic expression, sorry, that must be minus 8. So then it will be x times 4 minus 8. But in algebra, we always put the constant number, that's the coefficient, goes first. So it's 4x minus 8. Put a thumbs up if you got that first one right. Please put a thumbs up in the chat. Kanyo's got a thumbs up. Anel's got a thumbs up. Anyone else? Trevor, Ayanda, Jethro, Kamano, excellent. Right. So next one, x is my input, so that's my variable. Now I subtract 8 and multiply by 4. Now we're going to say x minus 8 times 4. But to make sure that there's no confusion, we put the brackets because we have to subtract the 8 and then times by 4. Okay, who got that one right? Thumbs up or thumbs down if you couldn't. Zetimbiso, Takano, Pumuzile, Theo. I'm seeing no thumbs up or thumbs down from you guys. Awami, how's it looking there? Hey?
I put a thumbs
You
up.
still with me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Tumisho, you still with me? Pumuzile, I want to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, now next one, x is our input. We add 15 and divide by 5. Okay, so when we write the algebraic expression, x plus 15 divided by 5. X plus 15 must be in brackets. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this last one, x divided by 5. and then add 15. Okay, so x divided by 5. You see the difference between C and D. We could also, if we were being very fancy, we can write x divided by 5 like that.
Plus 15.
And if you were fancy in the previous question as well, and you really want to show off to your teacher, then you write like that. Okay, that's how you're being fancy in algebra. You can write the division like that, one on top of the other. Okay, so we're not done with these yet. Keep them handy, because now in each expression, I want you to say what is the variable in each case and what is the constant. Okay, do that now quickly, 2 minutes. As a fraction, yes, Njabulo, because fractions and division is the same thing, but I think maybe that's a conversation for another day. So what is the constant and what is the variable in each case? Okay, I was being fancy with my blocks and bubbles here, so okay, let's see. Okay, the variable each time is x, right? And our constants, I made a mistake, you see, that's why you guys must check what I do. It must be -8. Okay, so the constants here are 4 and -8, and then 8 and 4. Let's also make this -8 rather, because we're subtracting. And then 15 and 5 and 5 and 15 again. Okay, you got those ones right for your constants and your variables. Put your thumbs up or your thumbs down in the chat, please, so that I can see how you're doing. All good? Mapalo. Excellent. Theo, well done. Okay, good stuff, Manolo. Tumelo, you got some of them right, but others not. Okay, good stuff. Okay, now we've been doing lots of patterns and flow diagrams, etc. So I'm just gonna do some other examples where you're given the sentence and then you have to write the algebraic expression for it, or the rule. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to do the first one, then you can try the others. So write a rule for each of these using x for input numbers. So half the input number plus 2. I think you guys are going to be okay with these. Half the input number, so if it's half, then I take x and divide it by 2 and add 2. Or you could say half is x divided by 2 and add 2 like that. That's fine too. Okay, lots of 2's there. Okay, so try B, C, and D on your own now. 2 minutes. Let's see if we can finish in 2 minutes. And then when you're done, again, say which ones are the constant and which ones are the variables. Okay, you can check yours if you're done. Answers are up. Okay, so some of these you haven't learned yet. That's okay, Kamalu. Sit and Biso. There is no harm in learning it here and in learning it in school. The more you hear it, the better it is. So if you haven't done it, not a problem. And you will still do it in school. You've done this in class. Well done, Tamisha. So this is then just more practice. Okay, we keep practicing. I'm sure you've heard that maths is practice. So the more you do it, the better it is for you. If you see it here for the first time, you'll see it again in school, and that will be great. Okay, so Ninja Bulus says, I'm confused with the last one. Okay, subtract x from the input number. Now, these are always a little bit confusing because the words are not in the same order as what you're going to write your answer. So you subtract 4 from the input. So the input, this here, is x. So you have to subtract 4 from that. So the x goes first, minus 4, not 4 minus x, like that. Okay, so you always take away from, meaning whatever you're taking away from goes first. You put that first. So that would be incorrect. You have to, English is a bit of a funny language sometimes. Okay. And then to put it in the nice order, you can leave out the multiplication sign in algebra. Do you guys know that? We don't have to write, when we do algebra, we don't write the multiplication sign.
Yes, ma'am.
No harm if you do, but remember when we started this, I said mathematicians are always in a hurry. So we don't have time to write the multiplication sign, so we just leave it off. Okay, so for that first one, our constant is the divide by 2 and the plus 2. Our x is our variable. In each of these, x is the variable. In this one, 6 is a constant, minus 2 is a constant, plus 3 times 10 is a constant, minus 4 times 7, those are all the constants. Okay, right, so time is really flying tonight and we are already at the end here. And what I've done is I've taken some of the app questions, that's the lessons that's on the app. And I thought, let's have a look at them because some of them are actually a little bit, they're going to make you think. If you haven't done them yet, I really suggest you go and do them. Alzan will show you at the end where to find this on the app. So if you haven't tried them yet, I strongly suggest you go and do them, these exercises. And remember, there's also a quiz next week. Not next week, this week. Oh my gosh, Thursday, it's quiz time, okay? So pay attention, let's see. Let's look at that first question. Consider the following expression and determine which statements are true. Okay, I want everyone to choose 2 statements. Put your answer in the chat. Which 2 statements are true for that expression? Let's give it 30 seconds. Okay, maybe a minute. Just the first question, choose 2 statements that are true. So if you haven't done a lot of this and it's new, Setembiso, just give it your best shot, okay? Two statements that are true. Put your answers in the chat. Okay, Tamilo, you must give 2 statements, okay? There's definitely 2. This is not a trick. There's 2 statements. A and C, B and C, B and C, A and D, A and C, B and C, A and R. Trevor, I think you just need to fix it. There is no R. Maybe you meant C. A and D, B and C, A and D, C and A. Okay. Right. Now let's check if you got this right. So I think we can all agree that A, I think a lot of you said A. A says the entire expression is a sum. That's right. An algebraic expression is a sum. Okay, so the whole thing is a sum. Now let's see. B, the coefficient of S is 3. Some people said B is true. I'm going to put a question mark there because we don't seem to be able to agree about B. Then the term 7 divided by R is a quotient. Is that correct? I think that is very much correct because 7 over R, that's a division. And what is another word for division? Have you guys seen that word before? Quotient. Have you seen that? Never heard that word before. Okay,
No,
make a
ma'am.
big note for yourself. That quotient is the same as division.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write that for yourself. It's important, super important. And what about product? Have you heard the word product?
Multiplication, ma'am.
Product is multiplication. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is the term 2.
Ma'am.
I say, how do I say this? How do I pronounce this? It's 2 to the power of 3. Have you learned about exponents?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And powers?
The power and
ma'am.
the base.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the power here is 3 and 2 is the base. Okay. Now
That's
the
good.
term 2 to the power of 3 has a variable. I don't think so. No, there's no. Do you see a letter there? There's
No, ma'am.
no
No, ma'am.
symbol or letter.
No, ma'am.
So that does not have a variable. Okay, so that's wrong. Let's get back to B. The coefficient of S is 3. Now, what does this say? This says S over 3. And I told you if you want to be fancy, then you write your division like that. Okay, so that's the same as S divided by 3. So the coefficient of S is not actually 3, okay? It is actually 1 divided by 3. But I think we must talk more about that in the next lesson, okay? So we're going to put that in the parking bay, okay? Now, let's see if we can go to, by the way, this expression, How many terms does it have? Yes, Njabulu, the S is divided by 3. How many terms have we got here? 4. I agree.
4 terms.
That's 1, 2,
Water.
3,
4
4
terms.
terms. Okay.
Oh,
Let's
yes.
go. Let's go to this question here. It's also from the app. What is the coefficient in the expression 5 plus 9y? What did we say is a coefficient? You can remember?
Division,
Tumelo?
ma'am.
No, quotient is division. Coefficient
Ma'am, it's
is?
multiplication.
It's when the variable is multiplied by a number. Okay. So
Yes,
type in
ma'am.
the chat, what is the coefficient in this expression?
Numerical or constant quantity placed before and multiplying the variable.
Put in the chat, what is the coefficient? The coefficient. Guys, we're doing question 3, hey? The coefficient. Let's look at the 9y. Okay, here's my 9y. What is standing in front of the y? That is a 9. That is called the coefficient. Okay, this number here, the coefficient of y is 9. Okay, plus 9. That's right. Okay, we've got time for one last one. Question 4. Now this one, if you've done this on the app already, you'll recognize this question. If you haven't done the exercise on the app yet, go and give it a try. Okay, so we have an expression here, 5/6 plus 8b, and they want us to find an example of each of these. So what did we say quotient was? So ignore this because this is all scrambled up, okay? You have to put it in the correct order. So the answers that are here are not in the right place. So quotient, in our expression, what will be the quotient? Who wants to try? Which part of the sum is a quotient, is a divide?
5 out of 6.
5 out of 6, that's right. 5/6 or 5/6, that is division. Product, which part of the expression is the product?
8B.
Jethro?
8B.
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 Excellent. That leaves us with the sum. The sum is this whole thing because it's being added together.
Over 6.
The whole
That's
expression
8B.
added together. Okay. So if you're on the app, this is what you need to do. Okay. Any other questions before I hand back to Alzon?
No, ma'am.
All good.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what does the B stand for?
The B.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I wrote
It's a
that so
variable.
wrong. Let me
It's a
fix that.
variable.
That's right. B is a variable. So any letter represents a variable and it can take on any value. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
good stuff. Thanks for that question, Jabulo.
Thank you,
Alzon,
ma'am.
over to you.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys feeling?
Good, ma'am.
You're feeling good.
We are fine, ma'am.
That's great to hear. Can you believe that this is the 3rd lesson done and dusted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope that you're all so proud of yourselves because yeah, there's only one more lesson left. So well done and thank you so much for joining in on these 3 lessons. And then I'd also like to thank Marlies for all her work and her effort in presenting this to us. And there's one question I have for you guys. I hope I'm saying this right. Coefficient is the same as?
Division.
Yay! Well done! I'm happy to see that you all listen. So I'm quickly going to share my screen to show you guys what you have done throughout these last couple of lessons. Marlies, can I stop your screen sharing?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so this is what you guys have done. Your first lesson is done and dusted. Your second lesson on the 29th is also done and dusted. And now your third lesson of today is also done and dusted. So what do we have left?
Substitution and quiz.
Substitution and quiz.
And quiz, exactly. So
Yes.
before we do our substitution and our quiz on Thursday, what do we need to do first during the rest of this week?
Ma'am, lessons.
The lesson.
Homework.
Yay, revision. Well done, Ethro. So who can tell me what exciting what is something exciting that I'm about to share that I told you guys about last week?
The leaderboard.
Yes. Do you guys want to see who's on the leaderboard?
Ish.
Do you think your name is on there?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, let me show you. So this is our leaderboard for today. Can we please give a hand clap to Theo, Mapalo, Kamano, Loiso, Katie, and Stembiso. I don't even know if are all of you still on here today.
Yeah. I think they are.
Congratulations, guys. Theo, you've done 12 lessons. Can we please give him a hand clap?
Out to you.
Beautiful, Theo. So for those whose names aren't on here, what do you need to do to get your name on the leaderboard?
Ma'am, you must do the lessons, ma'am, daily.
Yay.
Practice.
Do the lessons. And that's not only going to help you get onto the leaderboard of Watobi, but that can even help you get on the leaderboard of your school, perhaps, hey?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
well-guided practice makes perfect. You have your guide, which is Marlies. Now your job is only to go and practice, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So let's see, what should we do during this week? If you go onto the app, you can go back onto the algebraic expressions, which is a topic that we're busy with. And then you can go to the first tab, which is variables, terms, and coefficients. Do you guys have it?
Yes,
Sorry, Alzon, I think they can actually go on and do right algebraic expressions. And those who are who feel they are ready, you can attempt the quiz, okay? But only if you feel you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
But do the right algebraic expressions, because that's like what we did today. We wrote algebraic expressions, and then if you're feeling strong, then you can do the quiz already. Otherwise, you can wait till Thursday for the last lesson to do the quiz.
Awesome. Thank you for the clarity, Marlies. Okay, so
Sure, no problem.
it's not this one. Let me change it quickly. It is this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for those who feels brave, go and try out the quiz as well. Okay. Well, guys, that's it from our side. Thank you so much all for participating. It was lovely seeing you all, and all the best with practicing the rest of this week. We'll see you again on Thursday.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Bye,
ma'am.
guys.
Take
See you
care.
Thursday.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Proud of you all. Well done.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Amen. Amen.
Bye-bye.
Amen. Amen.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye, Bonolo.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, Trevor.
Bye.
Take care.